All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the recap. Michael D'Angelo, joined as always by my partner in crime, Mr. Big D, Daryl Ortiz. And man, Daryl, events are sneaking up because
Yeah,
I
we're just
totally
talking
didn't
about that. Like
realize Saturday
Saturday night
night's
main
main event
event,
is next Saturday
and
with
then the
like
Saturday after that is Royal Rumble.
is the Royal Rumble. Yeah. So it really seems that they either just fell asleep at the wheel and didn't start booking any of these things because SmackDown, I mean, we'll talk about Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown really was like oh no, we've got Saturday night's main event next week. Let's do everything that we can to try to fill out that card.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like predominantly what SmackDown was, and Raw to a degree. They were lining up matches for Saturday night's main event, and then matches for. I mean, kind of the big takeaways are continuing title matches. But yeah, let's start there. Let's talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, so I think, but you know what, real quick, a quick note on that. I kind of like this a little bit better because I feel like this time last year we kind of like people like it was like the whole rigmarole of like I'm declaring for the Rumble, then like later on in the show I'm declaring for the Rumble, and then like next week I'm declaring. No, I like this better because it's like, oh shoot, it's like in 2 weeks, and so we've only had one person
one
make a
declaration
claim for
so
the
far.
Rumble, which is fine because I like surprise. Maybe there's gonna be more surprise entrants with all these partnerships that they have going on now. So who knows? Fingers crossed, it's be a more exciting Rumble. I know it's in Riyadh, so they're gonna have a lot of money to throw around. So we'll see how that goes. So. Anywho, we started out by the new champs opening up, the women's tag team champs, that is, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. At first, I thought maybe they were going to try and like split them up, but I think what they're trying to do now is kind of realign the titles. I think they're going to try and have the women's tag titles main event of PLE eventually. I think that was one of Triple H's goals. So I think that's probably what they're going to try and do with this because they gave them two high caliber stars as champions. But essentially, they opened up the show. They were interrupted by Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and then, of course, by Bayley and Lyra, and then, of course, by the Kabuki Warriors, and then a brawl ensues. Typical match booking later on in the later on in the evening, we're going to have a number one contenders match for the women's tag team titles and a triple threat tag match. So that's more to come. First match was Javon Evans versus Bravo Americano. Javon Evans won, top rope cutter. That was actually really cool. Javon Evans is very fun to watch. And Bravo, or should I say, oh shoot, my mind went blank on me. But yes.
Which one is Bravo? Is it Pete Dunne or who's Bravo?
No, it's not Pete Dunne.
I know which one is is that Ryo or one of them is Pete Dunne?
Yeah,
right?
Ryo is Pete Dunne.
It's Pete Dunne.
And then oh my god, and I love this guy too. I don't know why. Damn you, brain. Anyways, big strong boy is what I'm going to call him because that's what they did.
Yeah.
So they of course did their deal. They did their match. It was a fun match. It was a really good match, and it was very athletic because both men are extremely athletic. I think Javon Evans is going to be like the future, I would say, of maybe like the US title or intercontinental title division because he's just I've heard like his merch sales in NXT are like through the roof. So this is just kind of like a little soft launch for his WWE Mania, his Mania push, I should say, his WrestleMania push. So I think he's gonna have a big match at WrestleMania. I don't know against who, but they're pretty much trying to slowly push him up. So I think it's a good move. It's a good move.
Yeah, I mean that's where they kind of used with the whole him versus the Americano luchadors. It's like he comes out every single week and beats one of them. So this is their way of building him up, which totally makes sense. I mean it's a good group to do it against since you've got the heel faction, but excited to continue to see his growth.
And he escaped the brawl. They're trying to attack him too in post match, and he was able to get out. So yeah, it was nothing flashy. It was just a good, like, solid match. But after that, we didn't have to wait long because we had our number one contenders triple threat match. Well, before that, I want to talk about Finn Balor coming out to challenge CM Punk. I bring that up because they're going to be in Ireland this coming Monday, and that's where Finn Balor is going to like. I wish Finn Balor would win. I would love to see Finn Balor as champion. I would love to see him come out as the Demon. He's in Ireland. He's in his hometown. He's pissed off. It makes sense, but I know they were talking about and they've been talking about him and the Demon on their social media accounts in the interview he did with Cody Rhodes, how he essentially said WWE kind of fumbled it. They kind of messed up his Demon gimmick because he says he liked it being just a surprise. Like whenever he would just do it, he would just do it. And WWE was more like, no, there has to be a reason. You gotta get beat down multiple times before you get mad and angry and become the Demon, which I think is dumb. And I realized that's what they were doing because it just became very predictable. So I'm hoping that maybe with that, and he's in Ireland, Belfast of all places, he's in Ireland. I'm hoping that we see the Demon versus CM Punk.
Yeah, well, this is interesting because it did kind of come out of left field that, and they were moving on from Braun Breaker and moving on from the Vision a little bit and getting CM Punk another contender. And yeah, he had mentioned Finn Balor by name as somebody that he respected and somebody they liked, which they played into that in the promo also. But it does feel a little out of left field, and I would love to see Finn Balor win. I don't think he will, even though it's in Ireland. I think they already used that up on Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
with having him win on the international tour.
I don't think he'll win. I would love to see him win, but I would
love to see him win. I don't think he's going to. And I almost wonder, is this going to be Dominic Mysterio returning from injury to foil him and keep him from winning? Because I think Dom's close. It sounded like he was close to being able to return.
Because they had a number one contenders match this week as well for him. So on AAA.
So I'm kind of curious if he's going to pop up and he's going to be the one to spoil it for Finn Balor. And because they've been teasing Finn's ouster from the Judgment Day for a while now. And Liv Morgan kind of told him off a little bit on Monday night for essentially being an underachiever. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes. It would be cool to see him win, but yeah, I agree. I don't think that they're going to pull the trigger on it here just yet.
Okay, if he's not going to win, then at least give me the Demon. I miss the Demon.
At least the Demon. The Demon, and then the Demon gets spoiled by Dominic, potentially. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. After that, we had our women's tag triple threat match for the number one contendership. Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez won, which I think is the right move, versus the Kabuki Warriors, Bayley and Lyra. I like Bayley and Lyra, their story that they got going on right now, but it makes sense to push Liv and Roxanne because further down the line, I feel like eventually they're going to turn on each other because they're too much like BFFs right now. It's just like there has to be more to it. And I think because Roxanne kind of came in and was trying to take Liv's spot and essentially took her spot for quite some time. So now that they're like besties, it's kind of weird. But they make a great tag team. I think they worked really well together. But I feel that I don't think they're going to take the titles off of Rhea and Io just because it's too soon. And it's a main event. It's Saturday night's main event. I don't think they'll change it.
Yeah, it's a really fast turnaround. I don't know if they will either. But it is interesting. Like all the Judgment Day is lining up for title shots because you have Finn Balor against CM Punk. You've got Roxanne and Liv, and then you have Raquel going after Stephanie Vaquer. And I'm like, everybody's getting lined up for title shots from the Judgment Day, which is strange.
But how funny would it be? And I know this is not going to happen. So before y'all get to come at me at the comments, honestly, I don't care. But I know this isn't going to happen. But wouldn't it be awesome? Wouldn't it be cool if Finn Balor does win, but then all the other Judgment Day people lose? And Finn Balor's like, what happened? I won. Why didn't, you know what I mean? Like, and that's
I held up my end of the bargain.
Yeah, you know that would be cool. So cool. But it's not going to happen because CM Punk is CM Punk. I think anyways. But yeah, this match was fun. It was a good match. It was
cool.
Standard triple threat match. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, no, this was good stuff. And then as I did kind of expect Roxanne and Liv were going to win, and they did. So it was good. It was good stuff.
Yeah. After that, we had Penta and Dragon Lee defeating the Vision because Braun Breaker interfered and speared everyone. And
so it was a disqualification. Pierce. No contest disqualification finish, which I was
which of course this was really more to set up something more long term, in my opinion. So stay with me, guys. So they're saying how Braun Breaker put his hands on Adam Pearce, and he did. He shoved him and gets suspended indefinitely. We all know, and WWE indefinitely pretty much means to the next PLE. Royal Rumble is coming up. So this doesn't rule out Breaker for the Rumble. I've always been saying that Braun Breaker is probably going to end up winning the Rumble. And I think this is how they're going to do it. So if you notice towards the end when they're kicking him out, Paul Heyman said, you touched him first. Like you put your hands on him first. And then Adam Pearce kind of like stood stunned. So I think that's going to be the workaround. And I would not be surprised to see Braun Breaker as a Royal Rumble surprise entrant at like 28 or 30. Because that's part of the agreement because Adam Pearce put his hands on him. That's kind of like the payout. Like, oh, well, he's going to get
there's going to be some consequence to Adam Pearce. Because I got that vibe too when I saw the promo where like Adam Pearce kind of looks a little taken aback and like, oh crap, I did touch him.
Yeah. And he did.
And he did. And that's where I'm wondering, I'm like, are they going to do this to suspend Adam Pearce or have something happen where he's going to have to make it right for him or there's some condition tied to it? That would make sense if they did that.
And that would be great because then you wouldn't see Braun Breaker until, well, I feel you'll still see him at Saturday's main event. We'll talk about that later. But I feel like that's how you do it. You put him at 28 or 30 because Adam Pearce messed up. And it's like, well, make him number 30. And then he's fresh and he just tears through everyone and he wins. And I think that would be the way to do it. But we'll see. Cool.
We'll see.
After that, of course, we had, well, before that, I believe it was, before that, we had the, like you had touched on it, Raquel beat down on Stephanie Vaquera again.
At the top of the ramp, which this one was, I laughed a little bit because Raquel was doing the interview and then Stephanie came out and they had the confrontation and all the security. And then somehow like Raquel was able to start beating down Stephanie and hitting her in the leg and running off like 12 security. I'm like, she's not Brock Lesnar. Like how is it that she's fending off all the security?
China, that's why.
And she's yelling at everyone. They're all like, hey, oh no, don't hurt her. I was like, somebody just run in there and scoop her up.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
She's the new China, that's why. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. But I don't know where they're going with this because if she keeps hurting her leg or her foot, how is she going to defend the title? That's where I'm kind of stumped. I'm like, I get it. I get what you're doing, but why do you keep going after the injury? Like then she going to wrestle injured and that's how you give it to Raquel, which wouldn't make sense because that kind of deflates the victory a little bit because it's like, oh, well, she only won because she only had one leg to wrestle against, but I don't know. Maybe that's
well, they kind of did that though with Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. Oh, they played that whole thing where it was like, oh, Tiffany did it anyway, and it kind of against her better judgment just went for it and shouldn't have, and then lost to Jade. Jade's been kind of holding on to the title, and Tiffany disappeared obviously because she needed time off.
Yeah.
So it would suck if they just did that again.
I feel like that's what they're doing, but I mean, who knows? We'll see. Main event time, my match of the night, Gunther versus AJ Styles. The crowd was extremely hot for Gunther, obviously, because they're in Germany and Austria and Germany are not that far apart.
Not that far apart.
But I feel it was a great match. I feel this was great storytelling. Of course, it's AJ Styles. He is kicking off his retirement tour unofficially. And I think this is kind of how he's doing it because I think he's going to retire at WrestleMania, I think. But I don't know. Or it's going to kick off at WrestleMania. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But he put Gunther over, obviously, because that's what a pro does in this industry when they're on their way out. I think it was great. I liked the ending because it was very smart heel work on Gunther. It was kind of like a fake out because he knew he's the ring general. So he knows where the ref is. He knows he's in a submission hold. He knows the ref's right here. So he's behind him taps to make AJ Styles let go so he can get up and finish him and kind of recover while AJ Styles argues with the ref. And then he wins. So I think it was great heel work on my part. Win's a win, obviously, but what are your thoughts?
No, I mean, it was cool. I think the only thing that kind of threw me a little bit was the camera angle stuff that they did because they really tried to obstruct it from everybody, including the commentators, including the audience at home couldn't see it when it happened. So that was a little bit confusing, and you had to kind of see it on replay and to go, oh, he did tap, and AJ thought he had tapped out, and I'm thinking, AJ, rookie move, man, you gotta keep holding on to the calf crusher until the referee stops you.
So the ring goes off.
Yeah, until the ring bell goes off, until they've called the match officially. Like you gotta keep going. But for me, it was a neat ending, and to your point, it does show that Gunther's the ring general. He's got the intelligence. He knows how to handle those situations. He knows how to take advantage of a lot of those situations. And then of course he hit the low blow and then got the power bomb to get the win. So he's, in addition to that, still doing heel stuff while the ref's back was turned. So I thought it was good. I liked it. Obviously they're gonna continue to build up steam and go back and forth and have their blow off match. But this one was good, and this one was definitely the match of the night.
And that was Raw essentially. Mad Dash tried to finish this and get done and tied up for main event, and then Rumble. So
yeah, well, and SmackDown really was like the Mad Dash, where they had 4 fatal 4-way qualifiers all in one. It was like all of a sudden we're having a fatal 4-way.
I was shocked we got them all in one night. I thought, but then you're right because there's no time.
Space them out. Yeah, and I'm like, I thought, oh, they're going to space these out, and it was like, oh no, they're doing all 4 of them tonight. So the winner is going to face Drew McIntyre for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble. Rumble, like you said, is in 2 weeks. So they could have stretched it out and done like a couple of qualifiers and a couple of qualifiers, but they just decided to knock them all out in once.
Well, no, they had to do the qualifiers now because they're all wrestling at Saturday Night Main Event. Oh, I get what you're saying, because they still have SmackDown before Saturday.
Yeah, they still got like a SmackDown before Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, that's like they could have spaced it a little bit more. And I mean, obviously they have to turn around for like the Saturday Night's Main Event pretty quickly, but I get it. So I understand why they felt a little rushed, but it was rushed. It did open with Drew McIntyre coming out to do a celebration. You got the bagpipes going. The crowd was totally behind him.
Great entrance, by the way. I thought great that was so awesome.
It was really, really cool. He got serenaded by the fans because, of course, he's overseas, and then he was soaking it in. He was enjoying it at first, but of course, heel's got a heel, so he had to try and turn the crowd against him, and so he did the whole, screw all of you. Because you weren't on the bandwagon before when I was getting screwed. Nobody was on social media supporting me. I really liked this a lot. And it was true. It was like, he's been screwed all this time. And nobody stood up for him. And everybody said he was a crybaby and everybody made fun of Drew McIntyre. So I liked this a lot. I thought it was really, really good. You could tell I hurt him a little bit just because he was really enjoying soaking up all the love.
He loved it. Like, I would have too.
He jumped in the crowd at the beginning.
Yeah.
And he was really, really soaking it in. But heel's got a heel at that point. And then while he was doing that, Randy Orton came down because Randy Orton was in the first qualifier. So he came down, they did a little face off. And then you had Jacob Fatu come down and just make a beeline for Drew McIntyre and attack him. So that's the continuation, obviously, from what happened the week before. And then during that attack, when Randy was distracted, The Miz snuck in, who he was going to be facing in the qualifier, and hit Orton with the skull-crushing finale right before the start of the match. And I guess that was kind of done to be like, here's why it's competitive. Although I don't see why you couldn't just have a competitive match with The Miz versus Randy Orton.
I mean, The Miz is a great wrestler,
He's a great wrestler. Yeah. So, and he's a great wrestler. Triple Crown champion, former world champion. So he's not
just some average Joe.
It felt unnecessary to have him have to get like a sneak attack finisher to start, and then it was pretty even. And that match started during the break, so
that was weird. Yeah,
this is where I was like,
that happened
it's
a lot.
3-hour show, and it happened a lot. You have 3 hours to fill. Can you just let the matches start on TV versus having it, oh, by the way, in the break we got going, and it was like, guys, like, we're filling out 3 hours worth of wrestling. You don't have to do that. So that bugged me. Yeah, they got time. But it was solid. Orton, of course, did hit the RKO, and he was advanced and was the first one to do so. And that was kind of understandable, too. I mean, that for me, I'm curious. I think he might be the one that's going to win the Fatal 4-Way to qualify against Drew McIntyre, but we'll see. It'll be interesting how it played out. But this was a good, solid first match, Big D.
I agree. I enjoyed this match. It was nice. It was clean. It was a good. How can I say it? It was a good way to show that The Miz is an actually good wrestler. Like, I think people forget that, with all the comedy shtick aside. Like, they forget that he's a seasoned vet. Like, he's been around for a while, and he's really good. He really is. The Miz, I feel, is up there amongst one of my best heels. I prefer him as a heel over a face. I honestly do. But yeah,
I do too.
He's up there. He's up there for me as far as one of the best heels. But I mean, not currently, because that goes to MJF, because MJF is
MJF
heel. But I think The Miz is up there, and he's great on the mic, and he can wrestle. So this was a good match. I like that they made it competitive. I like that it wasn't just Randy Orton just blowing through him because it's Randy Orton. Because The Miz is a vet too. So I liked it.
Yeah, it was good stuff. And then after this, we got Kiana James and Julia versus Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Mm-hmm. This one was fine. Bliss hit the Sister Abigail and Kiana James, and then what I thought was interesting is they tried to do like Sister Abigail out of nowhere, Sister Abigail DDT that she does, and she initially like got into position for it, but it was that long delayed DDT from like, I just wish it was faster, because she did the whole stop and then the sweep of the arm, and then where it takes too long on the setup. I wish she had caught her in it and then just boom boomed, because when she did the initial catch and got her in position for it initially before she did the arm sweep, it did kind of come out of nowhere and it looked cool. So I just wish she'd speed up the Sister Abigail DDT a little
just
bit.
The last part.
Yeah, just that last part, because it takes a little bit too long on the setup. And then you had Nia Jax and Lash Legend, of course, come out and attack afterwards, because that's what they do. In every single one of these matches now, they're attacking Charlotte after the matches.
Yeah.
And that's just
I wonder who's going to fight at the Royal Rumble.
I know, right? I wonder. Well, and all these teams are still kind of vying for the women's tag titles as well. So they all kind of feud with each other and then qualify and then move on to face the women's tag champions at some point. But they'll get in line, because we already had number one contenders match on Raw. But this one was fine. After this was really interesting was Cody Rhodes' promo, and he was getting a lot of hate from the crowd.
Yeah.
At first. He got a lot of boos and a lot of hate, a lot of cheers for Drew McIntyre. But of course, it's overseas. And so I understand that. I think he did a really good job, though, of talking his way through it. This is when he did the declaration for the Royal Rumble, and of course, being the only one that's officially declared. And he said he's going to work his way in, and he could potentially be the only man to win it 3 times. And did
because Drew McIntyre said that he had said in the beginning, he had said that he had put in a clause that there's no rematch.
Yeah,
so
no
Cody
rematch.
Has to start from the beginning.
Absolutely right. So he's got to start from the beginning. And so Cody's like, embrace that. His chance now is to go and win the Royal Rumble. And that's why he was declaring for it. He did a good job of turning the crowd to support him towards the end of his whole spiel. Because he talked about, the times that he wrestled overseas in Europe. And so he really kind of played to the crowd in a very respectful way and did manage to sway them. By the time we got to the end of it, there were more cheers than boos. But it was really interesting when it first started. That crowd was hot for Drew and not for Cody. But Cody's officially going to the Rumble, and he's officially declared. Again, I agree with you, though. I hope there's only a handful of people that do this, if any. If it's just a couple, I'm good with that, because I do like it being surprise entrance instead of every 10 minutes somebody's declaring.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, it was interesting for Cody because obviously everyone sings his song because it's easy, so but I mean, how can you not? Like, I mean, come on. Even my 5-year-old, like, whenever the song comes on, he like runs up to do the whoa, like we all do, it's part of my workout playlist. So in the gym, I wait till, if I'm doing bench, I wait for the whoa. I'm just kidding, I don't do that. But I mean, it's just, it's Cody, and he's very good on the mic, and he's able to turn the crowd around. So it just shows how good he is on the mic to turn them around. But I like Cody declaring for the Rumble. I like him starting from the beginning. It looks like he's going to feud with Jacob Fatu for a while. So I feel that's either who's going to eliminate him or he's going to get eliminated trying to focus on Jacob during the Rumble. I think that's what's.
Yeah, probably. No, you're probably right. Well, and then after this, we had second qualifier, Matt Cardona versus Trick Williams, which you knew Trick Williams wasn't going to win this one. I'm like, poor Matt Cardona coming out, getting jobbed out already. You knew it, because Trick Williams is a little too hot right now. And you don't want to stifle his momentum by having him lose to Matt Cardona. So yeah, I get it.
Well, because they need Trick Williams to turn heel is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And that came later too.
Yeah. And he kind of is, like, he's done the arrogant thing, and he's pretty much a heel. He's talking like the heel the whole time. But match was good. Obviously, they're both really, really great wrestlers. So it was a good match. And Trick Williams advanced. So right now, as of this point in the show, Randy Orton, Trick Williams qualified. You had Kit Wilson attack Matt Cardona, because remember, Matt Cardona is the face of toxic masculinity. Yeah. So they're doing that feud.
We skipped this last week. I'm sorry. We skipped this last week.
Yeah.
Can we just like golf clap, round of applause for Kit Wilson's new song? Like, oh my God. It's so freaking catchy. Cool. Like, I don't really listen to like that style of music, but it's so freaking catchy. Like, even after he finishes wrestling, like, it's in my head. I'm like walking around and you hear like the Kit Wilson. Like, I'm like, God damn, dude, like, that's awesome. Like, like his rebuild is so good. I like this version of him, and he's just eating it up. So I really enjoy this. I know his partner's hurt, and so rather than just rather than just stopping jobbed completely. Out. Yeah. I like cool. the rebrand.
I do like Pretty Deadly as a team. But of course, he's doing great, good stuff on his own right now. Yeah. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Well, and then Kit Wilson got attacked by Jacob Fatu, who's apparently just coming down and attacking everybody, and he called out Jacob Cody, and it was Jacob don't care. He just wants to get his mic time, and then Cody ran down. They just immediately brawled. Security came out, and then they cut to commercial during the brawl. And when you came back, it was over. They're like, by the way, this happened. There was a brawl, and it got broken up. And I'm like, again, it's a 3-hour show. Don't cut to commercial during the throwdown.
Yeah.
The commercial breaks were very ill-timed in this 3-hour SmackDown.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy about it.
I wasn't either, and I don't know. Somebody wasn't connecting with the timing of it. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, I was kind of mad when they cut to commercial during that time. But luckily, when I was watching it, I got to see it all the way through, so it was good.
Yeah. Well, and then after this, we had third qualifier, which was Solo Sikoa versus Damian Priest for the Fatal 4-Way. Solo out with the lantern, because that's still the thing. Obviously, he's possessing the lantern.
It telegraphed what was going to happen, because they had promos before.
Him and all the MFTs were down. Yeah. So they all came down, and they were all interfering. And so, of course, the Wyatt Six showed up and basically evened the odds and cleared everybody out. Damian Priest hits the South of Heaven. He advanced. So you knew as soon as he walked out, as soon as he had the lantern, he had all the MFTs with him, and they had already teased earlier the Wyatt Six talking about the lantern, getting it back. So it's like, okay, this is going to turn into a fall apart brawl, and the numbers game is going to even things out, and Priest is going to end up advancing, which he did. It was fine. I will say, though, there were so many matches. All these did feel a little bit rushed at times.
Yeah.
Because you had those 4 qualifying matches, plus you had the tag match, plus you had Carmelo Hayes versus Leon Slater. Like there was a lot. It was like 6 matches, and they were like just trying to kind of squeeze everything in. Oh, and Jordynne Grace versus Chelsea Green, they had 7 matches. I was like, there's a lot of matches that were
which is
good.
On
the SmackDown. I
was happy with that. Some of them are fast.
I love it, but I'm like, don't cut away during the match. Try not to cut away during the match because it's a 3-hour
key
show.
Moments,
and try not to start the match while no one's there, or just start the match during the commercial break, stuff like that. And it almost felt like they forgot about Carmelo Hayes versus Leon Slater, because right after Damian Priest won, they threw up the graphic for Jordynne Grace versus Chelsea Green, and they said coming up, and then it was like Carmelo Hayes and Leon Slater, and I'm like, what? You guys go, we thought that was next. Never mind. We got a United States Open challenge. So it was almost like they forgot it, and then they were like, whoops, and then Carmelo Hayes was out, and so his mystery opponent was Leon Slater from TNA, who's the X Division champion. This was this is my match of the night. This one was really, really good. A good showcase for Leon Slater, obviously, because Carmelo Hayes had said he wanted to fight, the greatest wrestler that Britain had to offer, because they were in London. So hence,
Leon Slater, who better, right? Because Leon Slater, what is he? He did great across the UK through, I think it was Progress and Rev Pro. He was wrestling there, and then now he's TNA X Division champion. And so I know WWE tried to pursue him to keep him out of AEW, because, and it's clear why when you see him wrestle. Like, he's only 21, and
it's crazy.
So like fast, but he's big. So him and Carmelo just like vibed well together. I think this was also my match.
And between Leon Slater and like Javon Evans, like these really young guys that are super, super talented. So you have to imagine Leon Slater will be on the main WWE roster in short order. It'll happen sooner than later. But right now, of course, he's still doing his TNA thing. But yeah, great match. Hayes obviously retained, because of course it's way too early to take the title off of him.
Yeah.
But this one was good. After this, we got poor Chelsea Green getting jobbed out to Jordynne Grace.
She does it so well,
which always happens. She does. I mean, she's a good sport about all these things. Her and Cardona were like jobbers during the event, which is kind of a bummer. And Jordynne Grace won pretty easily. This is a showcase match. This is setting out, she called out Jade Cargill. This is obviously setting up their feud, which I feel like is just going to end badly for Jordynne Grace, because I don't think they're going to have her take the title off of Cargill. It again would be very, very early to do so.
I agree.
And has Cargill defended officially yet? I don't think she has. That's why I was like, she hasn't done any title defenses yet. So, but this one was fine. It checked the boxes, and they were I could tell they were running out of time. So it was like, this one needed to be
holy crap, we have so many matches. We need to hurry up.
Yeah.
This was a good match.
It was good. And then main event was Ilya Dragunov versus Sami Zayn for that final spot in the Fatal 4-Way. And Sami talked about, he had the run-in with Drew McIntyre backstage where he's like, yeah, I did kind of want you to win so that I could face you. And then basically Drew's like, well, yeah, I beat you like 11 times. So when I beat you the 12th time, you're going to go back to the line, which is a good point by Drew, because Sami Zayn can't get one over on him, which I'm like, gosh, please don't let it be that.
It will be.
Don't let Sami.
It will be.
Huh?
It will be.
Yeah,
it will be
don't let Sami be the one to take
Sami's going to win. I have a feeling
Yeah.
Sami's going to win on Saturday.
On the Fatal 4-Way, I think so. So it's interesting because 3 of the 4 participants already had a run-in with each other. Remember when Trick Williams first debuted, he had the run-in with Randy Orton, and he had a run-in with Sami Zayn, where Sami Zayn said he was going to like teach him respect and teach him a lesson. So you have 3 of the 4, and I almost wonder if you have Trick Williams and Randy Orton kind of take each other out. Sami ends up picking up the win over probably Damian Priest. I'm trying to think of who he's not going to pin Orton. He's probably not going to pin Trick Williams. But we'll see how this plays out. But Priest. I do agree. I think Sami's going to be the one.
And they're in Montreal. I mean, the pop is going to be deafening. So
totally. And then he'll get his Royal Rumble match, because that's going to be in Riyadh, and Sami's very popular in Riyadh.
Yeah,
so that's where it seems obvious that Sami will win, and he'll face Drew McIntyre and maybe win. Which I'm like, is this going to be the whole he made his story complete where he won the title and then they took it off of Drew, and Drew had another? I hope not too.
Yeah,
I want Drew to have a long title reign, and I feel like that would be a bummer. But it kind of feels like the WWE is trying to be a little more unpredictable, and they're trying to move titles a little more rapidly than they normally do. So we'll see. We'll see how this kind of shakes up for the next couple of weeks. But I'm going to go on record. I think you will too. Sami Zayn's going to be the one that advances on Saturday Night Main Event to that title shot.
I agree.
And that was SmackDown. That was it. Fast and Furious. I love lots and lots of wrestling matches. I just wasn't a fan of how they did the timing on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, for 3 hours, you should have a bunch of wrestling, but just bad timing with the commercial breaks. Obviously, a lot of picture-in-picture commercial breaks that they did as well.
Yeah.
Because they got to pay the bills. But it just felt like that. If there was an area to improve, the timing on the commercials was the big
thing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a good episode. I had no gripes about it aside from those commercial breaks. But again, I lucked out because the version I watched was I got to see while they were on commercial breaks, so it was fine. But nice. I'd be pissed if it wasn't. So yeah, it was. Yeah, but it was fine. I think I'm excited for Saturday night's main event. It looks like a pretty stacked card. Gonna have some fun matches. So I'm excited to see how that goes. And then we'll just have to wait and see if we're right. And then we have Rumble time.
We'll wait and see. Yeah, and so that's it for us this week. Next week, we'll do the recap of Saturday Night's main event, so we'll go through that one. Should be a good card that's been filled out, but that's what we got for this week. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments. Whether you agree with us, disagree with us, or just want to talk about wrestling, we always love to hear from you, and that's what we got for this week. So until next time, I've been Michael D'Angelo. He's been Big D, Daryl Ortiz. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you soon.